I say this a lot. Sometimes you get what you deserve in games, and sometimes you don't. And if you just go on like the play, maybe we didn't necessarily deserve all 3 points, but I think on mentality, on grittiness, willingness to dig in and push through, maybe that pushed us over the edge. And sometimes it's not about quality and really dominating an opponent. And I've sat in this chair before and really felt hard done by when we've done those things and not got 3 points. So I'm sure they maybe feel that way tonight, the opponent. But I think at this stage of the season, what is the most vital is the 3 points. And I know this group and I know these players, and we will work to get better on some of the things that we weren't great at. But yeah, overall, just really proud of the group, because tonight wasn't about quality and it wasn't about, all those things that we really talk about a lot. It was about mentality and grit and determination, and they showed that in abundance in the second half.
I've been told that goals change games. Can you speak to what
Sure do, mate.
what Emery was able to bring once he brought her on, putting that ball into space, finding its way in, and then it feels like everything just kind of flipped for you guys?
Yeah, I thought two things, really. I thought we changed the way we pressed them in the second half, and I thought that really helped us. And then I thought the subs that came on did a good job. I think Ainsley was excellent. Emery was fantastic when she came on. And everyone responded to them too. I think that's a big part of sort of the game as well, is if Emery and Ainsley come on and they're great, but the others don't respond with them, it doesn't really matter. So I thought they were great. And then I thought Anna's Lou's experience late in the game was really needed. So yeah, just really happy that we could get the 3 points, because that's what tonight's about, ultimately. And really proud of the group for getting a bit of a telling off at half time and responding in a really positive way.
You mentioned Ainsley. We've sort of seen her in bits and pieces throughout the season.
Yeah.
Just wondering, was that sub planned, and why did you feel like she could be impactful in this game?
None of the subs were planned. Honestly, when they scored, Mia obviously got a knock last week in Kansas, and she's trained this week, but she's not been completely right. And my immediate thought was to put Mia and Emery on. And then I took a minute and thought we could maybe get Sally higher and get Ainsley in. I thought the game suited Ainsley. I thought she would be able to get the ball in positions to hurt them. Was she the one who played Maddie Dolly in the ball?
I think she played it
to Sam, and then Sally played it. Yeah, just Ainsley's got quality, right? And I've said a lot with Ainsley to her face that her journey is going to be a long one. Her career is going to be full of loads of highs. She's an exceptional talent, but she can't judge it on minutes right now. But what she's done is, when called upon, is she shows everybody what her quality is, and that can be from a start, and she gets 60 minutes and she does a job that she needs to do. Or rarely we bring her on as a sub unless it's really late. But tonight I just felt the game was going to suit her, and it did, and I thought she did a great job.
And then Sam Meza put in another sort of just brilliant 90 minutes. She's just been so consistent. What do you think has allowed her or helped her to be so consistent in that role?
She's just committed to what she wants to be good at. Her ability to break up plays, something like we've not seen for a long time. She's fantastic at it. And her ceiling's so far away from where she's at right now, which is so exciting. So yeah, really, really happy for Sammy. I thought she was going to have to come out with the knock she got, but I think that's a big part of Sammy's growth too. Is it's hard to play at this level every week, and you're going to get kicked about, and things might hurt you, but you've got to grind it out sometimes. And tonight she did that. So proud of her.
And then last one for me, just even though the goals came after she subbed off, I thought Coco had some really good moments tonight. Her third start in a row. Just what have you liked from her in that starting role in particular?
Her ability to hold the ball up. She's physical. She's strong. She doesn't lose many battles with anyone. And sometimes that means she gets booked or she gives fouls away, but it can also mean that she can break play up and cause people a problem. And she did what we needed her to do tonight. And then obviously when the game gets stretched, it's a great way to get Emery on the field, because when she has a little bit of space, she can always show her quality.
So, Coach, you mentioned a little bit of a telling off at halftime, I think were the words you used. You know, you guys had 80 touches in the opposition half. They had 222. But you still have 15 touches in the opposition box compared to them only having 18. So it seems like there's some efficiency there. I don't want this question to sound overly negative. Can you win a playoff game playing like this?
Yeah, honestly. I think go back to our Kansas at home game. Even last week, honestly. Don't get me started on that game. But what we've shown is we can press teams, but we can also defend deep and hold leads. When you defend deep, you give territory away. So stats are going to be final third, little things like that. But what we know with the players that we have who could be higher up, Coco, Mia, Jordan, Emery, Maddie Darlene, Jess, Sally, whoever it might be, Anna, that if we can get down the side of you, we can hurt you. And that was Maddie's goal tonight. I mean, both of them, you know, and you don't tend to get that too much when you defend high or if you have the ball and you build, because they don't want to give you that, right? So it's those transition moments that you can actually really hurt a team with, which, you know, honestly, Kansas do all the time against teams. You know, they don't, if you let Kansas have possession, they don't want it. They just want to give it back. So what they care about is you having it, winning it off you and transitioning on you. And I had a conversation with the midfield and forwards this week about that. I remember in 2023 and 22 a little bit, we defended how we defended in the second half tonight, a lot in those years. And I think we scored 76% of our goals in transition in 23. And that comes from allowing teams to gain territory and then hurting them in the transition moments. We've come away from that a little bit in the last 2 years, but I think with the players that we have, I actually think it can be a really big tool for us. You've just got to accept that the stats might not look great all the time, but honestly, who cares if you win? Brutally. Right now, that's where we're at. And the other part is like, even the chance we had early in the game comes from really good build-up. We switched the play twice, I think, and got the, me, I black out, but we switched it twice and got in a good area to hurt them. So we know we can do both sides. We just sometimes get caught up that if we're not doing the pretty stuff, we don't want to do the ugly stuff. But the ugly stuff sometimes is what wins your games, and that's what it was tonight.
Jordan, in recent weeks, we've seen her being a bit of a menace in front of the goal for opposing defenders. Tonight, she gets on the far post. It may go down as an own goal, but it gets rewarded. What have we been seeing from her? Because she's been a pretty steady contributor from that central forward position lately.
Desire, competition. And I think I've said this to you guys already. She came up to me in the summer when we were training, preparing after the break, and when I'm getting that spot back. And I was like, all right, great, can't wait. And she's done it, so fair play to her. Hopefully, and she knows if she drops the standard, someone's going to come take it from her. So I think competition and a desire and a willingness to want to take your career by the scruff of the neck, because I say this all the time, no one cares about your career more than you. So go out and do what you want to do with it, and she's doing that, so fair play to her.
Hey, Coach. So coming into this game, you guys had 1 goal in the last 4, put up 2 tonight.
Yeah.
Mentally, what does that do for your offense, just to see goals go on, even if one of them came on an own goal is still a big effort from Jordan?
Yeah, I think, honestly, getting Maddie Darlene in those positions that we got her in, I mean, even the goal that was ruled back for offside was so tight, is great, because they're the things that early in the season we were doing a lot of that. And again, we've come away from it a little bit. So I think it will give us a load of confidence going into the last bit of the season.
And then coming back from the break, you guys are undefeated at home. I asked the players this, but what does it mean to play in front of these fans?
When we've been our best as a team in years gone by, we've made our home ground a fortress. This league is really challenging because of travel. I think if you look at our last month maybe. We've gone West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East, West. We're going East again this week. We then come back to the West Coast. Like, that's really hard. And to expect to go out East again next week and go and get a result is really challenging against a team who's in form. So taking care of business at home when they've had to travel West, whoever we may be playing, is challenges that we pose to ourselves to try and make sure we can take care of business. And yeah, really proud of the group that they've been stepping up in these home games, because we want to give the fans what they pay to see. And we want them to keep coming back. And I thought the crowd were great tonight. I thought they really galvanised the team in the second half. Obviously, I'm always on the opposite side of them, but I can always hear when they feel like the game's trying to turn in our favour, and they really get in with the players. So, keep coming, bring your mate, and be as loud as you possibly can.
So obviously with this win, you moved into fourth place in the NWSL. How much scoreboard watching or playoff bracket watching, playoff position watching do you guys do? And does that affect the way you approach things at all, the exact seeding?
Not really. Yeah, but we'd look for sure. We don't talk about it very often with the players at all, actually. We don't talk about it at all. We set ourselves a goal of, traditionally, in this league, I'm going to state something now that might bite me in the backside later, but traditionally, if you get 1.33 points per game, you will get in the top 8 in this league. And to get 1.33 points per game over 26 games, you need 34 points. So that's been my target. And you're never going to get, say we get a point next week, you're not going to get a clinched thing, because it's really hard to work that out, that not everyone can get to 34, because if you take everyone's maximum points they can get, it always looks, Scott's laughing at me, it always looks like everyone can get there, but we all play each other. So like next week, Louisville play North Carolina. It will mean that one of them won't be able to get to whatever their max is. And I think 34 is the key number, but we're not going to settle for that. If with the games we've got left, 2 home games, obviously 2 tough, all the games are really tough. We want to set our sights on getting as many points as possible. And if we can get results in these next 4 games in a positive way, it turns from thinking about what the lowest number needs to be to what the number needs to be for us to try and get into the top 4 and hopefully host a playoff game, which is always a target for us every year.
All right, and
I went a bit statsy then, didn't I?
All right, and then we'll go over on Zoom to Nico. Nico, go ahead.
Hey, Laura, congratulations on the win.
Thank
we
you.
all remember from the last reverse fixture against North Carolina, Jordan Bugg's screamer goal.
Yeah.
She had a pretty
Goal of
solid...
the season.
Absolutely. She had a very solid performance tonight defensively and over 80% passing accuracy. So just wanted to get your thoughts on her performance and how she's going to be looking like in these last 4 games.
Yeah, she's great. She's been great. She had a little blip right after the break, but that's okay. And she's come back. I thought San Diego, she was fantastic here. And she just does things very, very well all the time. And again, similar to Ainsley, her ceiling's so high. She's got so much more in her, which is great. I'm excited for her future because she's a top player.
All right,
Thank you. Congrats on the win.
Thanks,
Let's
mate.
do one more up here in the front from Charles.
Laura, you touched on, playoffs and all that potential, and then as well as the fans already, but can you speak to just how special you've seen this city be as a sports town? The Storm made their playoffs, the Mariners have clinched their playoffs, you guys are working that way, the Sounders are working that way. Just, I know you've been here before.
They clinched Sounders, right?
They
Sounders.
clinched, that's right. Yeah. I was there last night.
Come on.
Give me a break. But yeah, can you just speak to how special this is as a sports town? And I know you've seen it, in years past as well when there's been other successes.
Yeah, this is a special place. I think I say this all the time here. Lumen's got some weird acoustics. It's so loud. I can't imagine what it would be like if we filled it. honestly. And I can't wait for the day that we do, because one day we will. And yeah, I mean, Seattle loves its sport. You know, I was lucky enough to be at one of the playoff games for the Storm against Vegas when they won. It was phenomenal. I haven't really got out to the baseball, but, you know, I think Seattle loves its sport and it loves winners. And hopefully we can keep putting on a show for you and get where we want to get, which is getting into the playoffs and hopefully a little bit more maybe.